Wait, stop scrolling. I need to tell you something that might actually upset you. You know that exam you studied 6 hours for last week? The one where you highlighted half the textbook, made detailed notes, and felt pretty confident going in? Here's the brutal truth: your brain has already deleted 70% of everything you learned. Gone. Vanished. Like it never existed. But here's what's going to make you angry. It's not because you're not smart enough. It's not because you didn't try hard enough. It's because nobody ever taught you how to actually learn. And I can prove it. Right now, without looking it up, try to remember what you studied 2 Tuesdays ago. Anything. Just one concept. Struggling. Exactly. Meanwhile, in Japan, students are memorizing over 2,000 kanji characters that look like miniature paintings. And they remember them for decades. Not weeks, not months, decades. What do they know that you don't? That's what this video is about, and I promise you by minute 8, you're going to be frustrated you weren't taught this in school. Let's get into it. Picture this scenario. It's 11 p.m. You've got an exam tomorrow morning. You're on your 5th cup of coffee, highlighting page after page, rereading the same paragraphs, trying to force information into your skull. You finally go to bed at 2 a.m. feeling somewhat prepared. Then morning comes, you sit down, you look at the first question, and nothing. Your mind is completely blank. Every single thing you learned last night has evaporated. This isn't just frustrating. It feels like a betrayal. You put in the effort, you did the work, but your brain just wiped the hard drive clean. Why does this happen? In 1885, a German psychologist named Hermann Ebbinghaus discovered something fascinating and terrifying. He called it the forgetting curve. Here's what he found. Within 24 hours of learning something new, your brain dumps up to 70% of it. By day 3, you're holding on to fragments. By week's end, it's almost entirely gone. But wait, it gets worse. Your brain isn't malfunctioning. It's actually working exactly as designed. Think of it like your phone automatically deleting old photos to free up storage. Your brain does the same thing. If you don't signal that information is important, your brain assumes it's junk and tosses it out. So here's the real question. How do Japanese students defeat this forgetting curve? The answer: they don't study harder. They study completely differently. Method 1. Active recall. Here's where most students get it wrong. They think learning is about input, reading textbooks, watching lectures, highlighting notes, taking in more and more information, but that's backwards. Memory doesn't grow from input, memory grows from output. Imagine a samurai who only reads books about sword fighting but never picks up a blade. Would he survive his first real battle? He'd be defeated in seconds. Learning works the same way. Every time you force your brain to retrieve information, you're not just remembering it. You're rewiring your neural pathways. You're making them stronger, thicker, more permanent. Think of it like resistance training. When you lift weights, you're tearing muscle fibers so they rebuild stronger. When you struggle to recall information, you're doing the same thing with your memory. The harder the retrieval, the stronger the memory becomes. Here's your action step. Close your textbook. Grab a blank piece of paper. Write down everything you can remember about the topic you just studied. Everything. Don't peek. When you're done, check what you missed. Then do it again. The first time feels terrible. You'll think, I can't remember anything. This isn't working. That frustration, that's a signal that it is working. That struggle is where the magic happens. That's where your brain is actually growing. Western students cram the night before. Japanese students sharpen their memory daily, like warriors maintaining their blades. Method 2. The Kumon approach. In Japan, millions of children grow up with something called the Kumon Method. It's not about being gifted. It's not about long study marathons. It's about breaking learning into tiny, manageable pieces. Instead of drowning students in 300-page textbooks, Kumon gives them one worksheet at a time. One small task, one small victory, then another, then another. Why is this so powerful? Because your brain is obsessed with progress. Every time you complete something, even something small, your brain releases dopamine. That's your motivation molecule, and each small win builds momentum that becomes unstoppable. James Clear talks about this in Atomic Habits. He says if you improve just 1% each day, by the end of the year, you'll be 37 times better than when you started. Think about that. 37 times better. Not from heroic effort, from tiny, consistent improvements. Here's how to apply this. Don't try to conquer 200 pages in one night. Break your studying into 15-minute focused sessions. Complete one small task, celebrate it, then move to the next. Do this every single day. Japanese children don't become masters by cramming, they become masters by stacking small wins, one on top of another, day after day until they've built something extraordinary. Method 3. Spaced repetition. Imagine you plant a seed. Would you pour an entire bucket of water on it once and walk away? Of course not. That would drown it. Instead, you water it regularly, a little bit at the right times. That's how it grows strong roots. Your memory works exactly the same way. This technique is called spaced repetition. Instead of reviewing everything in one massive session, you review at strategic intervals right before your brain is about to forget. Here's the cycle. Review after 24 hours, then after 3 days, then after 1 week, then after 1 month. Each review session strengthens the memory. Like watering a plant helps its roots grow deeper and stronger. Japanese students never wait until the final night before an exam to cram everything in. They follow a rhythm of regular reviews, ensuring the knowledge stays fresh and embedded deeply in their long-term memory for years, even decades. This is why they can remember 2,000 kanji characters, not because they studied harder, but because they reviewed smarter. Method 4. Kaizen. Kaizen is a Japanese philosophy that translates to continuous improvement, getting just slightly better every single day. It originated in Japanese factories after World War II, where workers improved processes through tiny incremental changes. But today, it's used everywhere: schools, businesses, sports, personal development. The concept is beautifully simple. Instead of pursuing massive leaps, focus on tiny, consistent steps forward. Here's the math that will blow your mind. 1.01 raised to the power of 365 equals 37.8. That means if you improve by just 1% every day in 1 year, you'll be 37 times better than when you started. Here's how students apply it. Spend 2 minutes on active recall, 2 minutes on spaced repetition, 2 minutes on focused practice. That's only 6 minutes a day, but in a month, you'll be 30% better. In a year, unrecognizable. No stress, no burnout, no all-nighters, just steady, relentless growth. Method 5. Shu learning isn't just about techniques, it's about the state of mind you bring to the table. In Japan, students practice something called Shu, which means entering a state of complete, undistracted focus. It's like entering a flow state where you and the task become one. Japanese students use rituals to trigger this state. It might be a tea ceremony before studying, lighting a specific candle, arranging their study space in a particular way. These small rituals send a powerful signal to the brain. It's time to focus. It's time to go deep. You can create the same trigger. Designate a specific study space. Use the same pen every time. Light the same candle. Play the same ambient sound. Over time, your brain learns the pattern. When this ritual begins, focus follows automatically. Japanese students aren't just studying. They're training their minds like monks train their attention during meditation. Method 6. Feynman Technique. Here's something fascinating. The best way to know if you truly understand something is to try teaching it to someone else. This is called the Feynman Technique, named after physicist Richard Feynman. But Japanese educators have been using this principle for decades. Here's how it works. After learning a concept, explain it out loud as if you're teaching it to a child. Use simple language, no jargon, no complex terms. When you hit a part where you stumble or can't explain clearly, you found a gap in your understanding. Go back and study that specific part until you can explain it simply. Why is this so powerful? Because teaching forces you to organize information, find connections, and truly understand rather than just memorize. It's active recall on steroids. Japanese students often form study groups where they take turns teaching concepts to each other, not just reviewing together, but actually teaching, explaining, and questioning. Try this. After your next study session, grab your phone and record yourself explaining the topic as if you're teaching it to someone who knows nothing about it. Watch it back. Every time you say or pause, that's a knowledge gap. Fill those gaps and you'll achieve true mastery. Method 7. Pomodoro with breaks. Here's something most students get wrong. They think longer study sessions mean better results. Wrong. Your brain isn't designed for marathon sessions. It's designed for sprints with recovery. Japanese students use a modified version of the Pomodoro technique. 25 minutes of intense focus followed by 5-minute breaks. After 4 rounds, take a longer 15 to 20-minute break. But here's the key. During breaks, don't scroll social media, Don't watch videos, let your brain rest, go for a walk, stretch, look out a window, let your mind wander. Why? Because your brain doesn't stop learning when you stop studying. During rest periods, your brain is consolidating memories, making connections, and transferring information from short term to long term storage. Studies show that students who take strategic breaks remember up to 20% more than those who study continuously. Japanese students have mastered the rhythm of effort and rest. They understand that the breaks aren't wasted time. They're when the actual learning happens. Let's make this concrete. Imagine you're preparing for a math exam in 2 weeks. Day 1, solve practice problems, then use active recall to write solutions from memory. Day 2, review mistakes using the Feynman Technique, explaining each concept simply. Day 3, spaced repetition. Review everything from day 1. Throughout the week, use 25-minute Pomodoro sessions. Break content into small Kumon-style chunks. Improve 1% daily with Kaizen. Create a study ritual for deep focus. By exam day, the knowledge isn't floating in short-term memory. It's cemented in long-term storage. Or language learning. Use active recall with vocabulary flashcards. Apply spaced repetition with apps like Anki. Practice Kaizen by learning just 5 new words daily. Use the Feynman Technique to explain grammar rules. Study in focused 25-minute sessions. Do this consistently. In 6 months, you'll know hundreds of words and actually remember them for life. Here's the truth nobody wants to admit. Learning isn't about talent. It's not about studying 12 hours a day. It's not about being naturally gifted. It's about method. Western schools train students to cram, memorize, and forget. Japanese methods train students to master, retain, and grow for life. That's why the top 1% seem different. They're not smarter. They're just using different strategies. The difference between average and extraordinary isn't luck. It's not genetics. It's method. So here's your choice. You can go back to highlighting, rereading, and forgetting everything by next week. Or you can start using these 7 Japanese methods today. The top 1% won't just watch this and move on. They'll take action right now. The question is, which method will you try first? Drop it in the comments. Tell me which one you're committing to today. And if you want more science-backed strategies to study smarter, improve focus, and grow 1% every single day, hit that subscribe button. Because success isn't built overnight. It's built daily, one small step at a time. That's the Japanese way. And now it can be yours.